Florida State deserved to be in the playoff, but they're not one of the 4 best teams, and you can't change my mind.
No,
I'm sorry.
They're not.
And welcome back to another episode of Gridiron Guys. I'm your host, Luke, with my co-host, Nate.
Howdy, y'all. What's going on today, Luke?
Got a lot to talk about. College football playoff stuff obviously came out, but if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you never miss any of our content. And let's get into it right off the top of the bat. Just go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of scubbub. We got the college football rankings. Michigan 1, Washington 2, Texas 3, and Alabama 4, with Florida State being 5 and Georgia being 6.
Yep.
Everybody is all up in arms about saying, well, you left out Florida State, who is a undefeated Power 5 champion, and Georgia, who has one loss to Alabama, who beat them.
Mm-hmm.
My take on it is Florida State is not the same team that they were at the beginning of the year, and even after Jordan Travis got hurt, you could tell that wasn't the same team.
Yeah.
Okay, and in the things, it says strength of record, strength of competition, like strength of record, head to head, injuries, and coaching changes.
Mm-hmm.
That is in there. Those are what the committee came down to. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, yes, it sucks for Florida State. It sucks. Let's just admit that. It does. Let's be honest here. If Florida State makes it to the college football playoff, I don't think they beat Michigan, and I don't think it's close. Granted, that defense is really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But Michigan is humming on all cylinders.
Yeah.
And I don't think they could have beaten Washington, and I don't even know if they'd beat Texas right now. No. So you got to look at it, and the way the last 10 years, the average margin of victory in these games have been 19 points.
Yeah.
19 points. And I also think that TCU getting in last year, getting boat race in the national championship, they didn't want to have the same scenario happen again.
But they got to the national championship, They beat Michigan. I mean, people blaming TCU for Florida State missing out because they didn't want it happening. It's dumb. Like TCU deserved to be in there. I mean, they beat Michigan in the semifinals last year, so
yeah, they did.
I'm in my standpoint, like I said, is got the top 4 teams because Alabama's better than Florida State. They are. I mean, there's no way around it.
No.
My only gripe is Florida State went undefeated. They won all their games, and Jordan Travis got hurt, and it sucks. And what a amazing career he had there. Just what he said on Twitter, like, I wish I would have broke my leg earlier in the season to show you. I mean, that these guys are still good. I mean, that's shit, dude. That you feel for the guy.
I do, but I also look at it like this. Okay. There was a report that came out that said that ESPN would have lost so many viewership, blah, blah, blah. I have a problem with people putting the committee into question and putting collusion. They think that ESPN told the committee how to vote, that ESPN wouldn't lose viewers.
I think they're going to lose viewers now. I think a lot of people are pissed off about this, but I'm not going to be one of them because I'm going to.
Neither am I, because I want to watch. I want to watch and see if Michigan can really beat Alabama.
Yeah, I don't.
Because Alabama, no matter what, I don't give a shit about. I don't care that Auburn lost to New Mexico State the week before.
Yeah.
The Iron Bowl, and Alabama barely beats Auburn. Like, they still won, right? Mm-hmm. They still needed that late. They proved that they could win, and then they went and beat Georgia. Yep. Who is your 2-time reigning national champion and hadn't lost a game in 29 straight games.
Yep.
So you're meaning to tell me that you're going to go on the chance of, let's let Florida State in, and then they get dog walked. Like, what do you want? Like, everybody is clamoring for the 4 best teams. What we have right now are the 4 best teams.
Yeah.
I'm That's just the way the game.
I also I think you could have flipped Georgia and Alabama also in the top 4. Like I know but just saying, because Alabama was number 8,
Yeah.
and now they moved up 4 spots to
Yeah.
number 4 to get in, only because they beat Georgia. It is what it is.
Which
But like
is
my
huge.
thing is, like they said, they 100% said, talking to the leader of the whatever that votes,
The committee.
Yeah, the committee. I think his name's like Boo something.
Yeah, he's
What
the
a
athletic
freaking name.
He's the athletic director at North Carolina State.
Okay. And so they're talking about him, and they're talking to him, and he basically said the injury to Jordan Travis, we had to take an effect because blah blah blah. That's fine. That's fine. But that committee, obviously not the same committee, but when Ohio State won the national championship, they were on their 3rd string quarterback with Cardell Jones.
Yeah, but Cardell.
You could also say that, and I honestly think this Florida State defense is way better than that Ohio State offense. Apples to oranges there. Also, like, my question is, if Jim Harbaugh was suspended the rest of the year, do you take that into effect?
Yeah. It says players and coaches. Like it takes that into effect, but it's like it that would have mattered, Nate, if they would have lost to like Penn State or Ohio State. That would have been brought into question.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, we assume Ohio State's going to be the number 1 team because that's where Michigan is.
If Michigan struggled all year, kind of like the last 3 games Florida State struggled,
Well, Florida State also struggled earlier in the year with Clemson, and they had to play another team.
I mean, Clemson's not like a team to blow out, I mean, yeah, you're going to have a tough game there. I mean, it's Clemson University. You're off of, I mean, how many playoff appearances and 2 natties? I mean, shit. But like, if Michigan had Jim Harbaugh suspended all year in the last 3 games, because the way I looked at it is they looked at the last 3 games of Alabama, of Georgia, and of Florida State. Okay. And that's to me how they eliminated Florida State. If they looked at Michigan's record, Michigan won the Big Ten. Big Ten was not good this year. I don't care what anyone says. Michigan won the Big Ten, ran the field, went 13-0, but Jim Harbaugh was suspended
6 games.
But if he was suspended the whole year, you know what I mean? Or at the end of the year, I mean, where he couldn't participate or coach in the conference championship or then on.
Do
you treat Michigan the same way you just did Florida State? I think you'd have to. You set the standard now.
Yeah, I think you'd have to. And also think about this: like, they didn't play well against. They didn't play all that great against Penn State or Maryland.
Dude, in all honesty, they didn't play good against Iowa. 26-0.
Like, they didn't even cover.
Iowa's defense is like a stud.
No, they did cover it. No, they did.
They covered. It was 23.
23. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's what they did. But the under hit too.
It took them all goddamn game build up to that 26. Like, they did not play like a number 1 team should have played, but conference championship.
But I also think that Iowa, again, I hate giving Iowa credit. Yeah. Iowa's defense is. Iowa's got Tennessee. Tennessee might screw around and lose that game.
They will. Yeah.
Iowa will come out in
sheets. I think I'm going the Hawkeyes in that game. I mean, I'll say it right now. It's just Tennessee is. I mean, we should bring this up later, but I seen a tweet that says, "Who was the most disappointing team this year in the SEC?" And it was Arkansas, Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina. South Carolina is most disappointing, but Tennessee's right out there. Tennessee was supposed to be like top 10 team this year. They weren't. They sucked. But it's here or there.
Hendon Hooker really showed how much they really needed him this year.
Yeah.
Or how much they miss him this year.
Yep.
Joe Milton did not have a
He's a flop. He's a flop.
Yeah, he's not. He wasn't very good.
All in all, I love the chaos because I sent you a text message of the Joker. Yeah. The chaos was awesome. It's great about college football.
my thing is that this is perfect.
Yep.
This is perfect for the new 12-team playoff next year.
Yep. Yeah.
Think about
the committee's
that.
lucky
Think about that.
Yep.
Think about that, dude.
Just think if Florida, this won't happen, but if Florida State came out and beat Georgia in the old Capital One Orange Bowl,
I don't know. They
dude,
might now.
they are
Georgia's
claiming.
okay.
They will claim the national championship.
Dude, they will, as they should.
I'm like, hey,
as
all
they
right.
should, as they should, as
Yeah.
they should. I mean, it's a little bit different from UCF because they're not a group of 5.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I don't like. Here's the thing. I understand that Florida State deserved to be in the playoff, but they're not one of the 4 best teams, and you can't change my mind.
No,
I'm sorry.
They're not.
They're not.
All you can say is argue how they got there. Top 4 team all year from week 1, and then now all of a sudden they didn't even lose, and now they're out of the top 4. It's unfortunate.
But the bylaws are the bylaws, man.
Yep.
And I love how somebody said something about, oh, well, then they would have kept the 95 national championship, the 95 Huskers out of it. I'm like, no, they wouldn't have, because they would have looked at strength of, because they played at least 6 top 25 teams that year and had a winning a margin of 35 points.
Yep.
There's a difference where you're dominating by 35, everybody by 35.
Yeah.
And
winning by a field goal.
And then winning by a field goal against team. Not saying that those are similar, but like that whole narrative just. I saw that tweet and I was like, "This is dumb. I cannot believe I just read that." The circumstances. Like they were trying to make this circumstance of, oh well, Tommy Frazier was out. Okay, so Brooke Berringer came in and had just as well as stats as Tommy Frazier did, and they were able to maintain their dominance. That's the difference. Like the only other thing that I could think of would be Joe Burrow going down in 19. That's literally the only other comparison, because the 2019 LSU and the 95 Huskers are the only 2 comparable teams in that scenario, because they were just so dominant on both sides of the ball that if you take away, but I agree. Like if you take Joe Burrow out of there, that's a totally different team.
Yeah.
They still have Jefferson. They still have Clyde. They still have Jamar Chase. But who's thrown it to him?
Right.
And you have to look at
Jake
that.
Browning last night.
Yeah. I mean, and we had. I mean, it's not Jordan Travis throwing it to Kai Coleman. It was their 3rd string redshirt freshman quarterback who had only taken 4 snaps all year. They only averaged 50 yards passing the ball. And when you have a guy like Coleman who was averaging like 90, 80 yards a game when Travis was around, that's a significant blow.
Yeah.
That's a significant blow. And I know everybody would have been like, oh, they should have put Alabama or Georgia in, because if Michigan dog walked Florida State by at least 3 touchdowns, then everybody would have been bitching that they shouldn't have been in.
Right.
That's my problem, is that nobody wants to be consistent with their takes. And everybody's calling ESPN crooks for not putting them in. That whoever that senator from Florida put in a petition to have the whole thing wiped off the record. Like, shut up, shut up, stay out of it. You don't know anything. Just go back to being a politician. I don't give a damn about
stay
you.
Out of
don't
sports.
Stay out of sports. Let the people that actually know what they're talking about and know what the rules are and know how to look from the eye test. Oh, so you're going to take into question Will Shields, who is a Hall of Famer in both the NFL and college football. He played for a national championship. Are you kidding me? You're going to take that guy and tell him that he is full of shit. Right. Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's just, like I said, it's unfortunate. What more do you want Florida State? I
don't care.
I know, but what more do you want Florida State? What more? Just take Florida State's name out of it. What more would you want a team to do? Power 5 team in a conference that is usually pretty good. This year was not. I
don't make up the rules, man. You gotta follow the bylaws.
And it's not them not following the bylaws. The number one bylaw is to win every game, and you're in. They won every game.
But if you win every game, and then you have
there. Like,
but
there's no
is.
Like, I mean,
you can't tell me a goddamn player, a key player.
You can't tell me that if JJ McCarthy got hurt 4 games left in the season, and Michigan's still dog walking people that they wouldn't let them in.
They probably would have lost to both Penn State. They probably would have
No,
lost
they
all
wouldn't
3
have.
games.
Penn State sucks, dude. Get off of Penn State.
JJ
Get off.
JJ McCarthy, you didn't
that's
throw
another
very
thing.
many.
Because he didn't have to, because the running backs had 201. Chrome had 200, and the other kid had like 120.
I'm just saying, I understand what you're saying. I get it.
But again,
it's
let me reiterate. Florida State would not have beat Alabama. They wouldn't have. Okay, they can't beat Texas. They won't beat Washington, and they couldn't beat Michigan. I'm not arguing that. I'm just arguing the way they got there, to me, was like not right. You know, the number one, you have all these bylaws, Luke. Number one on that is to win all your games. To go 13-0, win a conference championship. They did all that.
They did
without a quarterback. And like they went 13-0 without a quarterback. What more do you want a team to do? Is there a certain amount of number you have to beat a team by?
Maybe they should put it in there.
I don't know. Maybe.
All I'm saying is
you
that
can't tell me their strength of schedule is hard. It was like, or their strength. What was it? Is
their strength of record?
Strength of record was like top 5. And their strength of schedule wasn't.
It was above Alabama and Georgia.
It was top 5. It was top 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their strength of schedule wasn't. I think it was like 50th or something like that.
Yeah. I think that's what also kind of hurt them as well.
Oh, absolutely. But that's something you can't control, because some teams you schedule would be good one year. Like Clemson. You schedule Clemson, you expect them to be good. They had an unfortunate bad year this year. I mean, still, their bad year is better than our good year, but like, shit. Like, you can't control the scheduling part, the strength of schedule. But I feel like that's like a last thing they look at to judge.
I agree. I think the number one thing was that they won all their games, they won their conference championship. But how would they fare against the other 3 teams without Jordan Travis? And I think that's fair. And the fact that the committee's getting their nuts busted in for making the right call, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy. Like, honestly, if I was Nebraska and we were in the position of where Florida State was, I'd be mad, but I'd also have to look at it as, well, we don't have Taylor. We don't, like, let's say that it would have happened, like the playoff was around in 2010. Oh, we lost Taylor Martinez for the year.
Yeah.
Like he is your dynamic player. He's not your running back. He's not your offensive tackle. He's not your wide receiver. We're talking about the quarterback. He's very, very important in moving your offense the way you want to move it. And the fact that they couldn't.
But then again, you think of like what Ohio State did. They won it with a 3rd-string quarterback. Cardell Jones was nothing special.
But those guys, those other 2 guys, like, you could see the drop off. It's a significant drop off, Nate. There wasn't a huge significant drop off with Cardell Jones or JT Barrett.
No, because they had all the talent. I'm not taking anything away from Ohio State at all. I'm just using it as like a comparison.
No, I got it. I got it. My thing is that everybody getting upset about a decision that makes sense. Whatever. I mean, you can cry over spilt milk. You can do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, I think we got the 4 best teams. And I think this is going to be the best college football playoff of the 4-team playoff that we will ever get, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
Bama is strong now. Milrose actually playing well. Penix,
Bama's playing well.
To be
all around.
To be honest, Nate, I think Washington might win the whole damn thing.
I hope so.
The way they played all year, consistent on offense, consistent on defense. Special teams was iffy, but they knew how to win. And the Pac-12 was so good this year.
Yeah,
so good this year. Yeah. Like, and they made it through the gauntlet. Like, if it would have been a completely different story if Washington would have gotten left out. Then it really would have been like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And going into that game on Friday, they had a lot to lose.
Yeah. The whole season, because nobody was picking them to win either. Like, Everyone was all over Oregon. Oregon's going to win. Oregon's going to
Except
win.
for
There's no
me.
way. You
Except
stayed
for
with them.
me.
They're your number 2
Yeah,
boys.
I love them Huskies, baby.
Better not love them next year because we're gonna
No, we're not gonna play
have to
them
deal with them. Well,
unless
soon
we
we
play.
will.
Unless we play in the Big Ten championship, which is
Easy now. Put that Kool-Aid down.
Oh, we'll get into the Kool-Aid here in a little bit, but no, I honestly, and I really, really, really think that they nailed it this year. As much as people want to bitch and moan about it, I mean, who knows? Let's say Florida State miraculously beats Georgia. Okay, we have to remember what happened in that Sugar Bowl a couple years back where Texas beat Georgia because Georgia got left out of the playoff and they were upset.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't motivated. I could see this team doing it.
Yeah. Well, it sucks because
it does. Both teams know how it feels.
Yeah. The transfer portal's open now, and you never know who's going to play. So people are going to be jumping shit. People are going to be declaring for the NFL draft. Dude, we'll hit this later, I'm sure. But the transfer portal at Ohio State, their whole offense is gone.
Very, very interesting.
And Buke is going to go to the draft. Harrison's going to the draft, so they're not playing. Fleming, who's their number 3 wide receiver, is in the transfer portal. McCord, their starting quarterback's transferred. Henderson's probably going to enter the draft and not play. If he might, though. Money on Missouri.
No, yeah, that's Missouri.
They might sneak one. And Missouri might sneak one.
Missouri's 1-0 against Ohio State all time.
Really?
Yep, they've only played
1860?
once. No, it was in the 1970s or 80s, I think. I saw a graphic on it in Twitter, but no, I think that Washington Texas game is going to be very high scoring.
It should be.
I
wanted
so.
a Texas
Michigan
game for sure.
Hey, we might.
Hopefully,
Texas.
But I want
Texas looks
Washington
good.
to win it all. Washington.
That's your pick too. Yeah, I think so. I want, and I really do think that Washington is able to stand toe and toe against either Michigan or Alabama pretty well.
Right.
The only thing is that we saw Michigan. I mean, we've seen teams go up against Alabama in the playoff and they don't perform well. And I don't know whether that's and I don't know whether that's just because Saban's just that articulate, or it's just they see the A on the helmet and or not the A on the helmet, but no, they see the crimson in the and then they shit their pants. But I think this Washington team is well coached.
They're fast.
I think they're
Their
fast.
Offense is so fast.
But they're not fast in the way of how we used to talk about Oregon.
Right.
How about
they're
speed?
Efficient. They're fucking wide receivers.
Physical. They're very physical as well.
Right. If I learned anything about Washington in this Oregon game, Pac-12, is when the wide receivers catch ball, their number one step is forward. They are catch instantly turning and running. Running. You have a bunch of wide receivers that we see that just dance and everything. They're turning and running straight forward as hard as they can. And I might sound dumb saying it, that's what they're supposed to do. Dude, nobody does that. Washington is killing people by just their short jabs and everything.
Yeah.
Don't even know his name, but this number 11 for Washington, he's a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. He was catching everything.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. No wonder Penix is up for the Heisman. Throw this guy all day. Yeah. And their front line is sneaky good.
Yeah.
On both sides of the ball. On both sides of the ball. They were just you think when you think of Oregon, obviously they've had different coaches, but you think of Oregon, you're like, okay, they're fast as they are going to try to outrun you. And still to this day, I believe that. And they do half the time. They were gassed. That game. And it's just wow, Washington's very hard to go up against, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. They're scrappy
and prepare for. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Texas doesn't have an easy out either.
No, the only team that I compare Washington to is Texas. Because Texas, that Big 12 championship, Quinn Ewers looked phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like,
and their running game was able to do a little
yep,
bit of things. Yeah.
yeah. And if Xavier Worthy is not able to go, I think he
That.
might be because of the long break. I mean, it's 3 weeks before they play, so he might
Yeah.
get healthy.
Yeah.
But it's going to be an exciting game. I'm
New
probably
Year's
going to
Day is
be
going to be a whole lot of watching
yeah.
football that day.
I'm going to be a little more excited to watch that game than Michigan and
Bama.
Alabama.
We'll talk about bowl games on Friday's pod.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll probably
We'll have to
that'll
s
probably be Bowl Mania.
yeah, we'll have
That'll
to
be
s
the name of it, Bowl Mania.
we'll have to set something up where, like, let's fill out a bracket or let's my bracket. I'm
I think
ready
we
for
can do
basketball.
like a
A
league.
bullshit, yeah. Let's
Yeah.
and then during the pod, let's like East Coast Brad, me and you, say like your most confident bowl game. Like who do
Yeah.
you think is gonna win? And then your least confident but more excited, and let's build on that. Let's build on that. So
Yeah.
put that in your brain. Let's work that one
Yeah.
out there.
Let's talk about transfer portal. From a standpoint of a Nebraska fan, I'm very surprised.
I don't think I am yet
I'm
because
very,
like,
very surprised.
yeah, but Nebraska always like holds to the recent years since the transfer portal started becoming a thing. Guys don't transfer until spring because we're at that level where like we have a bunch of guys that could actually start here and could make a lot of
NIL
money and etc.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they wait until spring game and then they're like, okay, I see where I'm at now, and I'm like, okay, now I'm going. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these transfer portal guys, and I can't even
quarterback. The quarterback position really surprises me, to be honest.
Yeah, and we haven't picked one up. We're shopping. If you've been following the flight tracker, we're shopping.
I know,
but we haven't picked one up yet. So I think they're kind of waiting. I would willing to put my paycheck. Jeff Sims will not be here next year.
No, I don't think so either. Too bad.
I'm a little weary on Chuba. I hear a lot of things that he's probably done here, but he's still here. So if he was for sure done, why wouldn't he just enter now? Because he could get a starting job somewhere, in my opinion. But
I think this is going to be the problem that they're going to run into, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going after the Baylor kid. They're going after McCord.
Yep.
They're going after
Michigan State.
Will Levitt, Sam Levitt, and Rogers. Not Will Rogers. They're going
Will
for
Rogers is out of the question now. Sounds like he's going to be the Oregon. It sounds like he's going to be the Oregon guy or USC. Oregon, USC. I just saw it this morning.
Well, the kid from Will Howard got a visit from from USC's coach.
Yep.
But we also visited him. I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know, man.
Who's your great white buffalo? Like this is who we want. This is who I want. Blah blah blah. And then who is your like guy that you'd be like?
Will Howard.
That's
Will
a pretty
Howard,
solid kit.
Will Howard.
Yeah.
Or Kyle McCord, just because of the eligibility.
Yeah.
Because it's 1 year each, and we don't need a guy that. Because if Chuba is as capable as he was those last 2 games or 2.5 games, 3.5 games.
Yeah.
I think he's a solid starter. I think Harburg needs to move out to tight end. Sorry, kid, you had your chance. I think you need to move to tight end.
Yeah.
And then have Kalen be the backup, the third guy. Mm-hmm. Let him sit back and watch these other guys, because I think that's going to be the thing with it.
Harvard's gonna switch positions this
year. He needs to.
He was gonna in the beginning of this year. I mean, in the Minnesota game, he was in a couple of times at tight end. They threw him in motion and everything.
I think that's where he needs to play.
Yep.
I think that's where he needs to play. He's not a quarterback. Sorry. Nope. But
this sucks, but
but I have a feeling it's going to be I think Kyle McCord's going to end up going somewhere else. I don't think he's going to go to Nebraska. I think we're going to get stuck with Levitt. I don't know if I'm going to like that a lot. I would like Will Howard and then the backup be Sam Levitt.
Yeah.
That's where I would be okay with, but then again, I don't want a guy that's going to have 3 more years of eligibility left, and you have Kalen there, and also on Georgia's side here, backup quarterback is in the transfer portal as well, and he was pretty well recruited. I truly think that that's the Raiola effect.
Oh,
I think
probably.
he sees that on the wall. But if I'm Dylan Raiola, I keep this in the back of my mind. Carson Beck's got 3 more years.
He's coming back next year.
Yeah,
for sure. I think
so
that's
where are you gonna sit
I think that's
behind
kind of a reason why Vandergriff is leaving is because of Carson Beck has said he's coming back, and he should. He's not pro ready.
No,
he's not pro ready.
And
but you gotta think Georgia has another 5-star quarterback coming also, same year as Raiola, who is actually ranked higher than Raiola. Now, Raiola is no longer a 5-star on 3 sports ratings. He's a 4-star. Yeah, so I mean, there's gonna be a QB battle, and definitely someone's gonna leave there. So, so you think Sam Levitt's gonna be the guy that we're gonna settle for? I shouldn't say settle.
No,
I shouldn't say settle.
But it is settling. It's absolutely settling, dude.
I like the way Rule said, "I want a young quarterback and develop." That kid's got 3 years left.
Yeah, but
maybe 4.
That's what Kalen's for. Have a guy that can play in 2 years. Yeah. Why are we going to get a guy that has 3 years of eligibility, and then Kalen finds out that he's just going to be sitting the bench the next 3 years? Like, what does that say? I think his comments.
You better get better.
No, I think his comments were more towards the recruiting of high school kids.
Yeah.
Notice how we haven't done anything, like haven't done a whole lot of transfer portal guys, except for quarterback. You know, and that I think that's it's a testament to them focusing on building talent that they actually know that will be here.
Yeah, it's not a for sure thing, but it sounds like we're going to pick up a linebacker from Maryland too, so which is good. We need to get deep. We need to get deep.
Good, yeah, because we're losing Reimer and Heinrich.
Yep.
Yeah, Heinrich. Yeah.
So
I would my slam dunk would be Will Howard. The way he is so athletic, he throws the ball, he's able to run. I think he can take those hits.
Yeah.
That we're demanding of our quarterback. Granted, I think our run game is going to be a little bit better next year with Emmett at 1, Gabe Irving at 2. It'll be thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
And I mean, hell, Ramir Johnson's going to be back. I say they move him to the slot. Put him in a slot receiver instead of having him crowd the running back room.
I would love him like in that slot, but also being the guy to catch the jet sweeps, to catch the misdirection plays and everything, just because how unbelievably talented he is in the open field. So so your slam dunks, Will Howard, your guy that you're thinking we're going to get is Levitt. Okay. So my slam dunk would be Grayson McCall from Coastal Carolina.
He's going to NC State, isn't he?
That's the rumor. It's the rumor. Nothing's for sure yet. I love that guy. The dude can run. He passed over 8,000 yards in the 5-year. I mean, this will be his 5th year. It's just a stud, dude. Why? Who wouldn't want that guy? That's my
or the Tulane kid.
Yeah, that's the slam dunk I want. The other kid I want who entered today, who if I was Satterfield, I would literally, after Ohio State, I know it's another flight, but it's not very far because you're going to Ohio University. Go talk to Curtis York.
Yeah.
Curtis York is a stud. He'll have 1 more year of eligibility, 7,280 yards passing, 47 touchdowns in the 3 seasons he was at Ohio Bobcats.
Yeah.
Bro.
200 solid.
Bro, you want to talk about like a Dylan Gabriel protege? Like a Dylan Gabriel 2.0. Dude's just like him.
Speaking of which,
just like him. Go ahead.
Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure Dylan Gabriel's going to USC or Oregon.
Yeah. It sounds like every quarterback.
Everybody and their mother's going to Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God.
Well, and the fact that, and this is going to be just me. This is my one rant. The way Husker fans, every single quarterback comes out of the portal. Oh yeah, we should go get him. I'm like, shut up. You realize that we can only play one guy on the field.
Yeah.
Let's just spend $80 million on 87 quarterbacks. Makes so much sense, right?
My only thing is I want a quarterback for next year to just be the quarterback for next year, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Agreed. That's
just a quarterback for next year.
That's why I'm saying Will Howard.
Will Howard, but I don't think we can. So many people are after him.
So many people are after Kyle McCord too.
Right. Exactly 100%. But with Kyle McCord, you just like go against what you said. Like you're gonna have 3 years of Kyle McCord.
No, he only has 1 year of eligibility left.
I thought he was a junior.
No, he's got his COVID year left.
Oh, he's only got 1 year left. Damn. So,
and they're shopping in Ohio State's also shopping around for a quarterback as well.
I think they're
which goes
Cam
to show
Ward.
you which goes to show you how much some of these teams realize that some of these high schoolers just aren't ready.
Yeah. I think
it's going to be harder. You're not going to see a true freshman play at the quarterback position at D1 schools unless they're just the second coming of like Patrick Mahomes or Brett Favre or Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Like that's the days of freshman quarterbacks being all-stars or playing is dead. It's dead.
Arch Manning could probably start at like Toledo or someone, but everywhere else, yeah, he'd be redshirt like he is at Texas.
Which everybody's saying that Arch should get in the portal. I'm like, why?
Well,
Texas has got so much money.
I'm pretty sure they said he's staying 100%. Like he's committed to Texas. He wants to be there.
Well, yeah, why wouldn't
Malik is entering the transfer portal 100%. He's just not going to enter until the national championship's over. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, because
Malik, he's going to be one of the top gets in the portal. So,
yeah, I just don't Husker fans, please stop doing that. Just stop. Like when we heard Cam Ward was like, "Oh, I'm looking at Nebraska." I'm like, "No, motherfucker."
That was before
looking at all.
That was before he went to Washington State. So we're definitely not getting him now.
No, like
he's going to Ohio State. I'll put
you
money
think
on
so?
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put money on that one.
Well, did you hear about why McCord is transferring?
No,
apparently,
I can't figure it out. Like I'm like,
apparently Kyle McCord's dad went into the office and was like, "Is he gonna be the guy next year?" And Ryan Day couldn't. No, he couldn't promise that they weren't going to go out and look for a quarterback. He said, "No, we're going to go to the transfer portal. We're going to look for a quarterback." And apparently the dad and Kyle McCord didn't like that, so he's transferring.
Well, then I don't want him. If his dad's going to get involved, earn your starting position, dude.
And Ryan Day wanted him to come back and earn it.
Yeah, is that a slap to the face? Absolutely. But Jesus Christ, man. Earn your spot. You got to earn your spot every game, every practice.
Agreed.
You can't just be like, "Oh,
that's
this is
just."
expected.
But by the way, that's just a rumor. That's just a rumor. That's not exact. That's we don't know if that actually happened or not.
I'd be.
But the way the way the Ohio State fans treated him, the guy went 11-1.
I know.
And
not a very talented.
What
Ohio
the
State
hell?
Compared to the
no, but still 11-1, and you're going to crucify him?
Yeah, it's national championship or bust, dude.
Oh, dude,
beat Michigan or bust.
Oh my God, if that were the case, then we'd have not had a head coach for or quarterback the last 6 years, losing to stupid ass Iowa. Oh, God,
it'll get better.
So
it'll get better.
It's so dumb. But no,
we just need someone stable next year because we have talent. We're gonna have talent on the offensive side of the ball.
I think we lose at least 5 guys.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Five guys, but it's five guys that we have never heard of that aren't seeing the field at all.
We've lost 3 to my knowledge this year.
One's getting married and
one has a kid and he basically Ty Hahn. He said, "I'm going farm. I'm done."
Yeah, he got engaged. Yeah,
and then the other kid is just injuries. He's done. You know.
Yeah, Applegate.
No, Applegate's transferred.
Oh,
he's transferring out, and Applegate
Nebraska
probably was his biggest school that he'd get. Other than the huge transfer portal,
no,
1,100 people. 1,100 people are in the transfer portal.
It's
only been open 3 days.
I know, and only one Husker.
It's great. It's great.
That's crazy to me because it's like
tells you that the team has bought in.
Agreed.
Yep.
And that should be something that transfer guys look at.
Yep.
And I mean, they'll probably.
I hope the players are almost like texting people, be like, "Hey, dude."
And honestly, we hate on. Well, I don't. Everybody hates on Adrian Martinez, but he also played. But he also played with Will Howard.
Yeah, because he left Nebraska to go play with him.
On to NFL.
I don't even want to talk.
Dolphins beat the Commies. That was kind of predictable. Texans keep being the Cinderella of the NFL. Can they make the playoffs? I think absolutely.
Yeah. 7-5?
Yep.
They're going to get that wild card. 100%.
I think so too. I think, and
I would not want to play them in the wild card.
No, if you're the Jags,
very, very well. We're matched up with the Pittsburgh right now because we have the AFC South.
Yeah, that's
true. Pittsburgh may fall out of that because of Kenny Pickett. Yeah,
that's
we'll
true.
see. As of today, we're matched up with the Steelers, and the Chiefs are matched up with the. They were the 3 seed. They're matched up with the Brownies, which is still another one.
Are you sure you?
Because right now it's.
That's right, because the Dolphins
won.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I
the
keep
Ravens 2, and I can't remember who they play.
The Ravens?
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. I can't remember. Maybe it is the Texans.
I think it might be
because the Steelers are 6-4 or 7-4.
And I think that
the Texans are going to go up, dude.
The Texans
might not lose again. Oh no, it was the Colts. It was the fucking Colts because the Colts right now own the tiebreaker with the Texans.
That's right.
All they have to do is the Texans have to beat them. Yeah, they just have to beat the Colts and they're in.
Oh,
that's it.
Interesting.
But the Colts are playing pretty good right now, too.
Yeah, they're playing pretty well too. That AFC South
games.
is actually pretty competitive. Besides the Titans.
The Titans are dog.
Yeah, they're dog water. Too bad for Derrick Henry because I feel like
it's wasted talent now.
Did he sign with them again?
He's
not on a rookie deal.
I know they were. Oh no, he's not on a rookie deal.
No, he's our age. He's 29,
I know
dude.
It's got to be coming up because they were talking about getting rid of him.
Yeah,
because they're not going to pay him again. They shouldn't pay him again. His year this year has declined so much.
Yeah, but he's starting to pick it up like he usually does in the later half of the season, and that's kind of
because their passing's a little better.
Yeah,
they got D-Hop and Levis is going to be good.
Yes, he will be.
They got to rebuild. Unfortunately, that front office that football team.
Yeah, no.
Let AJ Brown walk. Are you kidding me?
No, trading him.
Trading
let him walk.
Like what?
Why would you even Byron and Byron?
Yep.
I don't. Speaking of the Dirty Birds. Speaking of the Dirty Birds, 49ers dog walk the Eagles.
Niners
that game,
are the favorite. Favorite.
I cannot agree with you more, dude. That game literally was this was us. Like if we would have, that just proves if they would have had Brock Purdy last year, it would have been a lot closer. They probably would have won that damn game.
They probably would have.
And
Deebo would have won the whole damn thing, honestly. Like
Deebo was looking real good.
And he needed a good game because like reading fantasy reports and reading like all these blogs, they were saying like Ayuk's a better receiver anyway than Deebo right now. And then I'm watching this game and I'm like, dude, this is a close game. Then I like blink and it's like a 21-point game. I'm like, oh my God. And Deebo off.
Yeah, Deebo. Well, and like, here's the thing. Like, I know Deebo isn't as consistent as a catcher, but the way they are able to use him in the run game, I think is
right.
So important.
That's what I want Ramir Johnson to do.
No, I agreed.
Literally.
Agreed. No, I just like literally there's nothing that really the Eagles could do. Like, they were just outmanned, and the Niners came in pissed off. That's literally 100%. What they came in and were
they wanted to make a statement.
Yeah, exactly. And they did.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah. And it's absolutely insane. And the fact that the Niners could clinch a playoff spot, like the 3 teams that can clinch a playoff spot right now in the NFC, Eagles, Cowboys, and 49ers.
Eagles, Cowboys play this week too.
Yeah.
It's like the
So if
last hard game for the Eagles, and then it's like
which is hilarious
shit.
because I think in either situation, San Fran clinches the playoffs because they beat both of those teams.
But will San Francisco get the
They
1
win out.
seed?
Well, they win
Can
out.
they? I think they're gonna win out. They got to stay healthy though.
I think
they got to
keep. Yeah,
they got to keep CMC healthy.
Agreed,
they got to
yeah.
keep people off of Brock because Brock's kind of a fragile kid, dude. And Debo and Ayuk, do your thing.
Like, and the defense, I feel like
their defense is awesome.
Yeah, it's great now.
They have Nick
scary.
Bosa, Randy Gregory, fucking Chase Young.
He's young.
Like, who the you supposed to, like, damn.
Dude, yeah, how are you supposed to block all these guys? How you can't just double team them all? Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
It's like, oh shit, Nick Bosa's out. Finally, the tackle can take a break. Chase Young's right there.
Like, yeah, no. I think the NFC goes through San Fran.
It has.
I think that is
in the matter
clear
of fact,
as day.
They catch the Eagles.
I think they will, and I think the Eagles are probably
10-2.
I'm just saying that game in Jerry World. I know the Dallas Cowboys will usually do what the Dallas Cowboys do.
Put like ass against good teams.
Yeah. But who knows? I could see San Fran sneaking in there at the 1 seed.
Dak Prescott's playing great right now. He's third in the MVP betting right now.
He's playing better than Patrick Mahomes.
Here's a question for you. What do you think of the MVP? The top 3 off the top of my head right now.
Brock.
It's Brock 1.
Brock 1.
It's Jalen 2.
Jalen 2. Okay.
Jalen 2 and Dak 3. Those are the top 3 most betted MVPs right now, candidates. What do you think of them? This is odd.
I think if because it does the reason why Brock is up there is because they proved that if he would have been there last year, they would have won that game.
Right.
And I think that's a big I think that's why everybody's so heavy on Brock Purdy is because without him, he's not flashy. He's not your Patrick Mahomes. He's not your Lamar Jacksons. He's not this gunslinger. He's a guy that will come in, make the right read, and get it to the playmakers. And without him, that offense doesn't run the same way it does. And that's why he is so valuable as he literally is the definition of most valuable player to that team.
But I don't think like the MVP goes to the best player in the NFL.
They should make it the BVP, not the most valuable player. Yeah.
But you take, I don't know.
MVP.
I feel like if
most
you take
best player. There you go.
I feel like if you take CJ Stroud off of the Texans are back to being 2 wins.
Yeah, but they're not going to give it to an offensive rookie.
Why? It's the MVP.
Never happened.
Well, I could never say never, bud. But
if they make it far in the playoffs, then I could see it maybe.
I just don't
it's
think
all about
Brock
how
Purdy
they do
is a MVP though. Like you could put Joe Flacco out there and have him prep all year like Brock Purdy, no injuries, nothing. And I feel like the Niners are still that good. It's just in that game they didn't have their quarterback Brock. They didn't have Jimmy G, and they didn't have Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins obviously got hurt, and they had to CMC be their quarterback for a couple plays.
And granted, you can't really say because he didn't play well that 3-game stretch where they lost 3 in a row. Granted,
he wasn't very good.
Trent Williams was also out, and so was Deebo Samuel. So there's the knock that you could say that Brock Purdy shouldn't be up for the MVP.
Right.
There's your argument.
But if you want to say if you you take him off the team, they lost to the Eagles last year. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But you take CJ Stroud off the Texans. Texans suck, man. Like the only thing keeping them afloat.
Yeah, their defense is pretty good.
Their defense is the same as last year. They went
with Will Anderson.
True that. They got Will Anderson, but how much
he single-handedly won them the game last week. He had a tip punt. He had a tip pass for an interception that the guy caught. Was that a pick 6 or just a pick? I think it was just a pick. But
you say
Singletary, or Sting or whatever, the kid from
LSU.
Singletary. No, it's not Singletary. The kid from LSU had 2 picks.
Stingley?
Yeah, Stingley. There we go. He had 2 picks. Like, that defense is scrappy. It might not be statistically where it's like slobber knock. Oh, look, they're top.
But what's your
defense.
point? What's your point there? So you still think Houston can win without CJ?
I mean, they have they had the weapons without Tank Dell. I think it's
you look at the Niners. Brock Purdy goes down, dude. I think they're still all right. They got an elite defense. Like, I don't know.
And they got pieces.
Yeah, I just don't think the MVP should go to Brock Purdy just because you put him on any other team, he's not doing what he's doing now.
Depending on what team he's on. I think if he goes to
you put him on the Raiders. Put him on the Raiders.
Ooh.
He sucks.
Yeah, because that offensive line isn't very good.
So he has to have
he's not okay. Then most valuable player. No, I get it. I understand. I get it. I get it.
I don't even think Jalen Hurts should be it either. And he doesn't do enough for me.
No, and he's also playing he's playing injured. I don't think his knee is
dude's always
fully healthy.
But he's a baller and he through it. So
agreed. Chiefs lose a crazy one, which I was fully 100% confident that we were going to win that game.
I think I was too. I was like,
so
what?
My thing is that I'm not going to complain about the refs because we needed to make more plays and we just didn't make more plays. Now, granted, that pass interference should have been thrown any time.
Yeah.
When it's that blatant.
They missed
that call. But it also was probably a makeup call for the roughing, the unnecessary roughness, because Pat was still in bounds, and in all purposes that shouldn't have been a flag. But
no,
that shouldn't have been a
flag. He's fighting for the
yards. Yeah, he's fighting for the first down. Yeah.
Open game. I mean, we gotta quit acting quarterbacks all the damn time. I understand if that. I mean, he was like almost a foot away from me out of bounds. Like, he's still fair game. I can understand if he had a toe out of bounds and everything. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
but now,
no.
But
yeah,
it is
I don't
what
know.
It is.
But then again, like, we can't.
I was texting you after that play when they threw that flag. I was texting you. I was like, "Here we go again." The
no, and then the pass interference.
I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. Again, the only reason why I'm talking about the penalties is because this narrative, which is insane to me, that every time the Chiefs win, they get the benefit of a call. Do you not realize they are top 3 most penalized team in the NFL?
It's because of false starts. You got Jawan Taylor over there thinking he said what, and he's looking over. He's like, "Oh."
But like, if they would have gotten all the calls, they would have gotten that PI call. They didn't get it, did they? No, they didn't.
That was a missed call. That was a missed call. I don't care how bad I hate a team. I don't even hate the Chiefs. It's just whatever.
Annoying.
That
was
a missed call.
No, yeah, it was a missed call. But then again, that's a loser's mentality. You can't just blame the refs. If Isaiah Pacheco doesn't throw a punt, that's not 15 yards. That's not 15 yards.
So, do you know the rule? Does he miss this next game or half, or is it any like college, or was he just kicked out? Right when he punched him too, because you could hardly see the hook. Right, he just like literally put his head down. He's like, you could tell he's like,
yeah. It's unfortunate, but the 1 seed is a little bit. I mean, it's still in play. They need a lot more to happen now.
Yeah. Well, I see the ESPN rankings said 22% the Chiefs have to make the 1 seed from now on. So the odds are not in your favor.
They're not in our favor. But
Miami needs to lose.
I think Miami has a game or 2 that they could lose.
Yeah.
The Ravens aren't gonna beat the 49ers.
They're not gonna beat the Niners, and hopefully the Jags can get healthy. But
I mean, and we hold the tiebreaker against 2 out of the 3 teams.
Yep. So never say what does it say? Never quit. Never say what. Never give up.
Never back down. Never what?
Never give up.
That's right. Let's go.
I was just, like, it's tough. It's tough. Like,
Yeah.
everybody wants to complain about, oh, well, at Lambeau, the refs love Lambeau and they get all the calls. Whatever. I don't care.
Other than the PI and
I
the
feel like
late
it was a
hit,
pretty
it
well.
was a clean game.
It was a pretty well
It's
refed
just,
game.
I don't know. Maybe it's Lambeau magic. Maybe it's like, the Garden in basketball. It's tough to win there.
Yeah.
It's tough to win at
Yeah.
Lambeau.
Yeah,
I mean, look at the Packers. It's been tough to win at Lambeau for all years.
16-0. 16-0 in the month of December.
Really?
Believe it or not. Yeah, 16-0. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and also losing Tranquil hurt a lot.
Yeah.
That linebacker. We need Nick Bolton
sucked.
back as soon as possible.
Yeah.
He is so important, and it very much showed this game. You miss him. Yeah, there's a lot of things that they missed on defense. The defense didn't. That was the defense's worst
played
game.
fine though, but it was
their
their worst
game.
But they still played fine. I mean,
yeah.
What more? You got to ask more of your offense. It's kind of like watching Nebraska out there.
No, agreed. Like Pat,
your offense got to score. Your play. The Chiefs' play calling is not good right now.
No, I agree, and I think why are we? And it's like we're finally starting to give Pacheco the ball more.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, we throw a pass and they can't catch it.
You have a good young wide receiver, that Rice.
Yes, Rashee Rice.
Yeah, he's gonna be good. It seems like Mahomes is starting to trust him a little more with some deep balls and like that and feed them.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes you're like, you run the ball and then you run in this goddamn tunnel screen.
Yeah,
I hated it when we
that.
ran it in high school, and I still hate it to this day. And teams do it all the time. I've yet to see someone actually be successful at that. The maximum yards of a tunnel screen is probably 3, because either the block is never there or it's a drop ball because the quarterback can't get there. It's just like and Nagy. I've really looked at when the Chiefs lost to the Packers. I'm like, what is their problem? Like, people say it's their wide receivers. Their wide receivers aren't all stars. The Mahomes made Juju Smith-Schuster a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. He can make any wide receiver look good. Like, their wide receivers are fine. MVS is he is out of position. He is not a wide receiver 1. He should not be your deep target. In that Packers game, he was sucking all the air out of Lambeau. Like, he was so like dead tired. He needs to be your wide receiver 2, run your out routes, run your quick slants. That's what he's known. That's what he was known for at the Packers.
Yeah.
And it goes back to play calling and goes back to the trade deadline. They didn't go after one deep ball guy.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the most successful years of Kansas City, it was with Tyreek Hill. You don't have Tyreek. Fill that position and don't be cheap about it. You've been cheap about it the last 3 years.
No, I agree. So. Brett Veach has done very well drafting, and I think I think he thought that this talent that Mahomes could, and I've said this every time we've lost.
Yeah.
You can only go as so far as Pat can drag you. And,
and he's dragging.
He's dragging him. Yeah. And it's like,
poor guy's gonna get like.
I mean, the fact that
say that.
The fact that the one throw was just dumb luck.
Yeah.
The guy just was right there. The interception, like, I get that. Like, I'm not, whatever. But all they got to do is win. Just win out. I don't care how you win. Just win out.
Yeah.
Win out, and you have a chance at that number 1 seed. And I don't feel confident that if we don't get the number 1 seed, there's no way we're making it to the Super Bowl.
You don't think
we're not healthy enough.
Yeah.
We got to get healthy.
Well, you got to look at the whole league. You got to look at the whole league. The whole league's not healthy.
Yeah, I know.
It's almost sickening, and you're starting to think, like, why is there so many injuries this year?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep. Moving from my game to Nate's game. Jags lose in heartbreaking fashion in overtime. Browning looked good.
Browning really looked great. Good. He really did. And I don't, because he had a game before, and I was like, dude, we are gonna eat his lunch today. First series, we ate his apples. Second series, he started marching on us. I was like, oh, all right, well, you got Jamar Chase on the field. You better
And T.
throw him the
Higgins.
damn ball. Well, T. Higgins didn't do much other than that one catch at the end of the game, and I'm like, now we're now they found him,
Yeah.
But Jamar Chase like beat our ass all day, like
well, and so in Mixon getting short yardage,
yeah, Mixon
getting
had
those
a
2
good
touchdowns.
game.
I mean, he had what 70 yards or something like that, and he also caught a couple passes, out of the backfield too.
Right. But Browning did exactly what he did, and you could see.
Makes me.
You could see. I mean, dude, he had some great throws.
Yeah.
Threw for almost 400 yards. I think it was like 367 or something.
Yes.
And like, just like, holy. And he had 1 touchdown, 1 passing touchdown, and to just a unbelievable catch by Jamar Chase, and then just
running
didn't
catch,
even break a tackle. I think the defense of the Jags just like literally turned around and was like, what the and he just ran 40 yards. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? This is going to be that type of game. And it was a slugfest. And if you're a football fan, that was probably the game to watch.
That's a fun game.
That was an exciting game. As a fan, I'm like, dude, what the I'm about to call out Trevor Lawrence again. Like, you gotta start hitting these guys. Like, Ridley's open. Zay Jones was just flashing in the end zone. Dude, hit the and we're finding Evan Ingram for these short yardage gains and like, the 5 to 10 yard little dump down, which is perfect. That's what we need because it gets us the first. But you got to start making these big time throws.
I agree.
We're paying you big time money. We have
against
good wide receivers. We have great wide receivers that anyone would love to have, and you're not finding. And is it their fault that they're not open? No, because it was very evident that they were open a bunch of times downfield, and you just either you didn't have enough time to throw, or I don't know what the happened. But and with that being said, I mean, like, it sucks because
y'all had a chance. Y'all had a chance to take the AFC, the number 1 seed.
Dude, we did. And we literally
and have a stranglehold on it as well.
We literally had it on our hands and we're like, nope. And we're like, this, we're gonna ruin Nate's night. And they did. It sucked, but it is what it is.
And you've got
what do you do?
But I'm pretty sure your guys' chances of making the 1 seed are the same as ours. So it's like
no, it's like 10%.
Is it really?
We have the Browns next week, which we could beat the Browns.
Y'all need to beat the Ravens.
Our defense was horrible.
Yeah, it was
last night. It was dog. So if we figure out our defense, Trevor Lawrence can sit this week and we can still win. I'm very
Who's your backup?
CJ Beathard.
Oh yeah, the Iowa boy.
Yeah, and he did good.
I forgot about him.
The first play he fumbled, but he got hurt actually in the first play, but he toughed it out and everything. And he actually hit his throws. I think he was like 8 of 9 at the end of the game, which is what more do you want? He's coming into a serious time. And he didn't get his pants. I would have shat my pants. But yeah, I feel confident going into next week. It's just hopefully they can get CJ or not CJ Stroud. I wish we had CJ Stroud. Beathard, just some reps and get him calm, get him healthy. Say, you know what? If Ridley's open, throw him the ball because he did throw him the ball down the fucking field and about won me my goddamn fantasy game. But there was a hold of. That's my only gripe of the goddamn game was with the officiating was that phantom hold apparently. And I watched the Peyton and Eli cast for Monday night because I don't like Joe Buck. And I think Eli is one of the funniest dudes out there with his dry humor and how much he shits on Peyton Manning. And so I'm watching it and they're just both like, oh, dude, what a great pass. Oh, there's a flag. Oh, it's in the backfield. It's got to be holding. And so they didn't review it. They showed the replay and they're like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, they were like, are you serious? And it was bullshit. The dude flopped on it. And it's unfortunate, but hopefully Trevor can get back for the Ravens game because we got the Browns this week. We got the Ravens next week. Just get them healthy because you're going to need them. As much as I want to call them out right now, and dude, you got to be better. It's just a high ankle sprain. They're touchy injuries, but
they are. They need to stay out. He needs to do exactly what Pat did after the last game. Yeah, tape it, and do exactly what Pat did before the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Stay off of it and be in the training room all literally that Super Bowl last year. The MVP should have been the athletic trainer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you watch that quarterback, the episode of the Super Bowl, they did it lead up. He was in there for at least 6 hours a day.
Yeah. And he needed to be.
And he needed it.
Yep.
So I mean,
it's unfortunate. I was pissed off about the game, but what do you do?
Our teams
Bengals played better. Bengals played better. I'm not going to say anything bad about them. Jake Browning had a great game. Good for him. Joe Burrow, you're on the hot seat for the starter. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But literally, good job, Jake Browning. Jamar Chase is phenomenal. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Good for Zach Taylor. Little
Zach Taylor to Callahan.
Zach Taylor to Callahan. Zach Taylor beat his brother Press Taylor because Press Taylor is the Jags
offensive coordinator.
Yep. So
really, I didn't know that.
So a little tidbit for you. Looks just like them. Like they're almost like twins. It looks like maybe they are. I don't know, but it looks just like them.
Yeah. But that's gonna be it for this episode of the podcast. You can find us at Gridiron Guys on all social medias, and you can follow us below. We'll have them down below and stuff like that. Friday's podcast, it's gonna be Bowl Mania.
Fuck yeah,
Bowl Mania. We'll be filling out our brackets, not our brackets, but our bowl sheets.
Lucas gonna put up some bumpers for the bowling.
Oh yeah, absolutely I am, because I can't bowl worth a shit. So we'll do most of that show will be Bowl Mania, but we'll get into our week 13 or week 14 picks of the NFL as well. So moving forward, I think we can just do one day.
Yeah.
So we'll probably do it on Tuesday. Well, I mean, we could still do podcast. We can still do two. It just will be a more NFL heavy.
Yeah, just be NFL heavy. Like, what do you think? Maybe just if we do one, we'll just do like quick recruiting notes on college football of Nebraska and then straight to the NFL until like playoffs or something. Up to you.
Yeah, we'll figure it out offline, but that's going to be it for this one. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you never miss any of our content. And Nate,
they're leaving.